Jimin come in the kitchen. Jimin come in the kitchen. Jimin mom, we are going. Mrs. Park, at least to the breakfast, son. Jimin, I will do at home. Now we are going. I come to tell you. Mrs. Park, but Jimin, Yoongi, Jimin, let's go. He come in the kitchen and Mrs. Park see him. Yoongi, good morning, Mrs. Park, good morning. Son, come sit, let's do the breakfast. Yoongi, thank you so much, mom. But now we have to go because I have to go office also. He said, and Mrs. Park said them. Jimin, I come again, mom. He said, and his mom, Mrs. Park, you come. I feel so happy. Thank you so much for coming. She begged and she went to Yoongi. Mrs. Park, come again, son. Yoongi, I will surely, mom, he said, and she smiled. And then Yoongi and Jimin go from there. Mrs. Park in distance. Jimin is looking silent. That's why she start to make breakfast. And they come home. Jimin lay on the bed and Yoongi go to change his clothes. He come out and Jimin say him. Jimin, can't you take leave for me? He said and Yoongi turned. Yoongi, I will, but I have important work to do. Jimin nodded and he closed his eyes. Yoongi, are you okay? Jimin, yeah, I am just thinking what she did and why she did this. He said and Yoongi went to him. He sat beside him and he put his head on his. Yoongi, don't think too much. Jimin, because nothing happens. Jimin, I am just thinking why she do this. Yoongi, you are doing overthinking because if you ask her, she said she did nothing, so stop thinking all this. I will be careful from next time. Jimin, Yoongi, I am so sorry. So sorry. Yoongi forward, Jimin, you go there for the first time. It's happened and I'm really so please forgive me. Yoongi, hey, it's not your fault, huh? Nor your mom. It's her. So why you are saying this and it's okay. So don't think too much, okay? I am so happy you trust me, Jimin. You don't know on that moment. I am just thinking, how can you trust me like this? Jimin sits beside him. Jimin, I trust you more than anything, and I know you will never me. He said and smiled. Yoongi, I didn't confess still. Jimin, so confession is needed. Yoongi stays silent. Yoongi, take care of yourself and don't think too much, okay? You did nothing, he said, and on his forehead. He go from there. Jimin sighed and she placed his back on the bed backboard. Jimin, huh? He's so changed, and I realized like this, and I really liked it. Hope so. Now he hope so. Now the things stay like this. He's so tired, so he thought to sleep for some time, and he don't know how much the time. Jimin wake up. He see the time. It's almost 5 p.m. How can he sleep that much? He fresh up and he come out to make the dinner. But when he come in the living room, he is shocked to see Yoongi, who is helping his mother to sit on the couch and Annie stands beside them. Jimin, mom. He went to his mom and he bent down. Jimin, mom, what happened with you, huh? You are here and your foot. Mrs. Spark smiled to see him. Mrs. Spark, it's nothing, son. Jimin, what's nothing? He see Yoongi. He stand up. Jimin, Yoongi, what is all this? Yoongi, Jimin, come with me. He hold his arm and take him on the side. Jimin, Yoongi, shh. I will tell you everything, but later. For now, behave normal, okay? Jimin, but Yoongi, I tell you now, just behave normal for now. Don't ask anything. He said, and he nodded. He went to his mom. He went to his mom, Jimin. Give water to his mom and to Annie. He is really so on her. Jimin, I make dinner. Young, it's alright. You don't do any work. I order from outside. Jimin, mom don't eat food from outside. Youngi, so I make that dinner. You sit here. Jimin, but Youngi, stay here. He said, and she go Jimin-san. Mrs. Park Jimin-san said him it's alright. No need to do this. Jimin, he is a stubborn ma. He didn't listen me. Tell me, how are you? And you don't know how much I am happy to see you here. Mrs. Park smiled slightly. Jimin passed see his mom. He thought to light up the situation. Jimin, mom, I see Yoongi. I don't want to my kitchen, he said, and she chuckled. Jimin go in the kitchen and Annie sang. And wow, his house is so beautiful. Mrs. Park, it's Yoongi who take us here, but we don't stay here for a long time. She said, and Annie rolled her eyes. And he rolled her eyes. Jimin come in the kitchen. He see Yoongi. Jimin saw what you are going to make. Yoongi, simple kimchi. Jimin, okay, I will help you. Yoongi, no, you just sit, I do the work. Jimin, I am fine, Yoongi. Yoongi, don't you want to taste my handmade food? Jimin, no need because now why food? He mumbled Yoongi. I heard. Jimin, huh? What? Yoongi, if you want, you can. Again, he said, and he smiled. Jimin generally looked into another side, and Yoongi chuckled. Jimin didn't listen him, and he helped him. They make the dinner with a lot of piping, and finally they serve the dinner. They sit on the dining table. Mrs. Park, the food is really so good, Jimin. Yoongi, I make the food. Both speak on the same time. Jimin roll his eyes. Yoongi, Jimin is good chef and he make the food. He he said and Jimin smile. They both they both pass smile to each other and then they start to eat. Someone is watching them and in mind. So now everything is according to plan. She thinks and they start to eat the food. Did they do the dinner and Yoongi show them their room. He come in the kitchen and he see Jimin. He's collecting the dishes. Yoongi, may I help you? Jimin, no. I wash the dishes. You already make the dinner. Yoongi sits beside him, of course, to disturb him. Jimin, if you have planned to disturb me, then go, Yoongi. When I said I disturb you, huh? He said and he threw the water on his face. Jimin, Yoongi, no, please, Yoongi, watch now. He again do and Jimin filled the glass of water. Yoongi, no, no, Jimin, the water is it's too much. Please, Jimin, you listen me now. I listen you, huh? He said and he threw the him and Jimin is laughing. Yoongi take the bowl of water and Jimin is running in the kitchen. He threw the water on him and Jimin is also. Both are playing with the water and they stop when they see Mrs. Park. Stand there. Jimin look at Yoongi and Yoongi look at his mom and then Annie also come Mrs. Park. I come for water, but I think I did wrong. The house is also Yoongi and Jimin see the whole house is a day. Girls, Mrs. Park, I come later. And you see them, and she goes. Yoongi and Jimin both look at each other and laughing. Jimin drew the work now. And then let's go in the room. So Jimin cleaned the kitchen, and of course our CEO cleaned the house. And she's saying Jimin. He said Jim many times had the match, but Jimin never listened him. And now he have to clean the house. So they complete their work and they go in the room. Huh. Okay, so I think my almost 10 minutes work over done. So the next text is Jimin sit on the bed, and Yoongi is drying his hairs. Jimin, now tell me, Yoongi, why mom come here, and what happened with her? Feet. Yoongi went to him, and he lay on his side. Yoongi, when I was going office, I got a call from your sister. I don't know how she gets my number. First, I didn't attend the call, and then I attend, and she said your mom is anxious also, and I go there. I see the things are mess. I was so shocked because it's just some hours we go, and all this happened. She said your brother come and do all this. And so I stay silent. I didn't say anything. I take them here. Yoongi, so you don't ask them a reason why Hyung did this, and about mom featuring when I go she is already. I ask her and she stays silent. I ask from your sister. She said your brother did this. First I take her there, stay there for some time. You become worried. Jimin, huh? Why Hyung? Uh, why Hyung did this? Why Hyung did all this? Oh, streak. Yoongi, I searched my mans to find him. Jimin nodded. He lay on his side. Jimin, Jimin once again. Thank you. You take care of her a lot, Yoongi. Seriously, I said you many times. Don't say thanks, Jimin. Still, Yoongi, I was not with her when she wanted me the most, and you are with her. Yoongi, it's alright. We are same, Jimin, and you don't say thanks, okay? Jimin smiled and she placed his head on him. Yoongi, take him in his. Jimin, you don't go office. Yoongi, no, I don't get time. Jimin, and what about your work, huh? You said you have important work. Yoongi, I called my secretary and said to delay the meeting if the client is agree, otherwise cancel the deal. Jimin, so what happened? Yoongi, they cancel the deal. Why there? He sit on the bed. Jimin, what? But Yoongi, it's alright, Jimin. The deal is nothing meant for me. Jimin becomes alright because if it's not important, then Yoongi never go. Jimin, I am sorry, Yoongi. I swear if you again said sorry, don't talk with me. He said and Jimin make up out. Jimin, okay, I don't said sorry. Yoongi, okay, I don't said um but I'm sorry, Yoongi. Jimin gave him a smile. Yoongi sighed. Yoongi, it's alright. Let's sleep. I'm so tired, Jimin. He lay on the bed and Yoongi take him. And Jimin adjust himself. Both fell in sleep peacefully. So yeah, still they don't confess, but there is going such smoothly. So they don't want any for now. Next day, as usual, right train. Birds were chirping and the weather is so beautiful when Jimin opened his eyes. He's sleeping peacefully and then sit on the bed. He smiled to see Yoongi. He go in the bathroom for fresh up. He go in the bathroom for fresh up. He come out and he see Yoongi is still sleeping. He went to him. Jimin, Yoongi, Yoongi, wake up, see the time. You have to go office. Yoongi, 5 minutes more. Jimin, you will be late. Yoongi, wake up, see the time. Yoongi, huh? Okay. He opened his eyes. Jimin, good morning. Yoongi, good morning. Jimin, now get up and fresh up, he said, and just go stand in front of the mirror. He started to dry his hairs and then go in the bathroom and also fresh up. Jimin is fully ready. Yoongi, Jimin, you come out. I make breakfast. Jimin's, he sits and he about to go when Yoongi hold his hand. Yoongi, why you are in hurry, huh? He sits and he hold him by Jimin saying, Jimin, what happened, Yoongi? What happened, huh? What you are asking me? Jimin, I ask something wrong. Yoongi, what happened with the person when he have that much beautiful? He said, Angie. Jimin smiled, Angie looking down in up his chin, Angie on the. He always teased Jimin like this. He again on the side of his. Jimin, what are you doing, huh? Yoongi, what I am doing? Jimin, Yoongi, don't tease me like this, huh? Yoongi, what, huh? What you want me to do? Jimin, leave me. I have to make breakfast. Yoongi, yeah. You are thinking about others. What about me, huh? Jimin looked at him with disbelief. Jimin, eat it. I make for you also. Yoongi, ate it. I don't want that breakfast. Jimin, huh? Then what you want from me, huh? Yoongi, I want this, he said, and she. Yoongi wants something else, which we never get. Okay, so leave it. The next text is your video is got another. Okay, Mrs. Park come out, and also and Annie also. Annie, what? I have to stay with her. She signed. Annie, now where is Jimin? Huh? Don't you know? He have guests in his house. He come out from the room. He see the time. Mrs. Spike, enough, Annie. Yoongi is at home. Why are you behaving like this, huh? You also come out from the room at this hour. She said, and Annie roll her eyes. Annie, huh? I don't know what is happening. And then Jimin come out. Jimin, good morning, mom. Mrs. Park, good morning, son. Yoongi also come. She is fully ready for going office. Jimin, give me 2 minutes. I make the breakfast. Yoongi, no, I am going office. You take care. Jimin, dare to move from here. Yoongi, well, I do my breakfast. He sat and smiled. Looking down, he don't want someone go to know. Jimin, stay here. The kitchen. In the kitchen, Yoongi, you see, mom, how much I am feeling sketch from him. Mrs. Park, yeah, don't worry, son, I talk with him. She said, and Yoongi paused her a light smile, and then he go in the kitchen. Mrs. Park, I am so happy. Finally, I see my son is really happy. Hope so he stay happy like this. She said, and Annie smirked. Annie, now I know what I have to do. Huh? That old lady, she don't let me do anything if I stay here. If I stay here, but now I know what I have to do. Any mom, I'm going to help Jimin. Mrs. Spy, it's alright. Just sit here. Yoongi is with him. And what Yoongi do? Huh? He have to go office. He is fully ready. How can he help Jimin? And Jimin have to make breakfast for everyone. And so I will help him. She said, and show her innocent eyes. Mrs. Park nodded and she smiled. Jimin, Yoongi, don't tease me. Go from here. Yoongi, okay, I'm going office. Jimin, no, go and sit on the dining table. Yoongi, I am getting late. Jimin, just 5 minutes. Yoongi stands beside him and then Annie come. Annie, Jimin, you want any help? She asked, and Yoongi looked into another side. Jimin, no, I don't want any help. You go and you sit on the dining table. I am coming. And still, I want to help you. Something, Jimin. I know what you want to do. And Jenny, I swear, if you think to do something like this again, I won't leave you. He said, and she showed him puppy eyes. And but I didn't do anything, trust me, she said, Jan looking down. Jimin san, you want my help? He said, and Jimin looked at him and he sang, and then Annie started to do the acting. Oh my head, she said, and she started to take her steps back. So two men are left. Okay, so only a small voiceover left. Small amount of back. Jimin see her, she about to fall, and Yoongi hold her by shoulder, and she put her head on his. He make her sit on the on the table, and she hold her head. Jimin gave her a glass of water. Jimin, are you okay? He know she's doing all this big just a drama. And I don't know suddenly what happened. My head just Jimin, I called doctor if you said she stays silent and hold her head. And then he looked at Yoongi. And he thanks Jimin. Jimin, it's alright, you go and take some rest. She nodded and she stand up. She about to fall and she holds Yoongi hand. Jimin, Jimin is saying everything. Jimin, it's alright, I will help her. He said, and you take her in the living room. Jimin and mind, I know any nothing happens to you. You are doing all this. Jimin in his thoughts, and then Yoongi come. Yoongi, I'm going. Jimin, I do breakfast in office, and you don't skip your meals. Okay, I call you. He said, and Jimin just nodded. Yoongi, what happened with you? What are you doing? Jimin, you go. Yoongi, tell me, Jimin, what is the need? You hold her. Yoongi, correction, I just help her. Jimin, and why you do, huh? You know she is just doing acting to take your attention. Yoongi, and may I know the reason why she do, huh? Jimin, like you don't know. Yoongi, your brother did really wrong with your mom and her. I know maybe she is changed now. Jimin, my brother don't do anything. I know it's her plan, Yoongi. We'll talk about this later. For now, bye my doll, Yoongi. Jimin, don't talk with me. And she go. Jimin also go out from the kitchen. The next text is Jimin come out from the kitchen and she see her and his mom. Jimin, are you okay now? Or I call Dr. Annie. No, I am fine. And now I don't know what happened with me suddenly. Jimin, I know what happened with you. Annie, stop doing all this. He's my Mrs. Park. What happened? Jimin, go from here. Annie smirked and she stand up. Mrs. Annie, why are you saying this, huh? So he believed me I said something to you. That's why you are saying this. Jimin, no way. He don't said anything to me, and especially because of you. Annie, I can see, huh? the way he helped me. By the way, he's really everyone dream but Jimin. He's my and I don't care Jimin, so I am right. My brother did nothing. You do all this, and mom, you agree with the Mrs. Park Jimin's son? What I do, huh? She said to me, and you know, Pagal, it's not difficult, and it's not difficult for me. She said, and Jimin is just sharing her. Jimin, you will of what you did, Annie. It's not. I will not. I will not. I will not. Uh, and if he come by himself, Jimin, I trust him, and I know it's never happen. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Happen, huh? And go, Mrs. Park, Jimin's son. Let us go. She don't leave you. You don't know her, Jimin. I know her, and you don't worry. I know my yoongi also. I will do something soon, and I don't send you with her. I don't believe her. She is literally his son, and now he said his mom. He said his mom should do breakfast and do rest for some times, and now Jimin is thinking. In evening, Yoongi come home. He come in the room directly, and He see Jimin, He see Jimin is not in the room. He sign and he sit on the bed. Yoongi, I said him many times. Whenever I come home, I want to see him, but he never listened me. And now also, I don't know where is he. He don't. He know I come home. Don't he know? I come home. He closes his eyes and then the door opened. Yoongi eyes is still closed and she closed the door. She went to him. Yoongi, what are you doing here? He asked, and she smirked. And so you know I come here. Yoongi opened his eyes. Yoongi, I know my Jiminy footsteps. So whenever the stranger come in my room, I got to know he said and stand up. Yoongi, go from here. I'm not saying anything because I always give you respect. Annie toward him. Yoongi, I never ask my on girls, but if you want stop, I don't. I don't and waste time, and I do. He said in his cold voice, and she stopped. She said, girl, and Yoongi, you know, Jimin is not able to give you. Why not you? She said in Yoongi's smile, Yoongi, you don't know how much good he is. At least he is not a like you, he said, and she become and you don't set like without me. She said and closed her and the door opened. Jimin come in the room and Yoongi on her face. Jimin see this, he is so shocked and he can't believe she don't know she don't know this happened. Yoongi see Jimin how shocked he is. Jimin, go, do now, he said, and she looked at Yoongi. Jimin, you no need to explain me. I trust you more than anything, he said, and she passed him a smile. Yoongi smiled to see him. Jimin, but I didn't expect this from you, Yoongi. What, Jimin, you may her. Yoongi, I said her to, but she didn't listen me. But you didn't listen me. And then Mrs. Parker, Mrs. Park, what is happening? What is happening? All this Jimin mom. What I do with her now? He's such an everything now, and about to. But Yoongi hold her hand. Yoongi, huh? Not in front of me. What you think, huh? Yoongi, Jimin, no need to tell anything. I know what I have to do with her, he said. And Jimin nodded. Yoongi called his guard and said them to take her. Hmm. Hmm. Mrs. Park said, where they take her? Guess only two texts are left. Where they take her? They take her. Yoongi, don't worry, mom. You can trust me. I don't do anything with her. Okay? Mrs. Park, I know, son, and I am sorry for all this. Yoongi, you are calling me son and saying sorry? That's wrong, Jimin, mom. Go and do rest now. Mrs. Park, I don't want to disturb you more. You both stay here. I am going back, Yoongi. I call you mom. How can you leave me like this, huh? From now you stay with me here in your son's house. He said gently, smile, Mrs. Park. I am really so blessed to have a son like you, she said, and she go. And Jimin smiled to see her. She closed the door and go. Jimin, finally everything, Jim and go. So finally everything is fine. He can live peacefully. He turned and she see Yoongi. Jimin, watch. Yoongi, you trust me that much, Jimin? Huh? No way. You don't trust me. Don't don't trust me. I don't have any to break your trust, he said, and Jimin hold you. Jimin, dare to think something like this, or otherwise, Yoongi, otherwise what you do, huh? He said, and चलो जी सारा वॉइस ओवर हो गया एंड पर आकर फंस गया हम्म नींद आ रही नींद आ रही बहुत ज़्यादा पूरा 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 30 सेकंड 30 सेकंड पूरे 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 20 सेकंड पूरे 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 ज़रा आवाज़ नहीं आ रही See, only 10 seconds are left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next. Okay, so here is the bonus part. Hope so you guys like. If you like, then subscribe, and also tell me in comments. Bye bye. Take care of yourself. Sarange. Bye.